refs coming, cause we coming for the check. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, now they play my line. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't.
Coach, thanks. As mentioned, we are on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. It's sold out Heinz Field in the Steel City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Hines. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he finds McDonald. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Andrew Billings able to drop him for a loss of a couple. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Now Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Check, set, 180. Check, 55 to right. All game cut.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
20. 55,
To throw is Stafford. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
It's your time, baby. We did our part. Come on, set. Come on, now the room. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run. Check 9, check 9. 36.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
To try again after the sack, Jackson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On 2nd and 12, Stafford steps away to his left. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
Hey. Let's go. Let's bring it. 43 is the mic. 43 is the mic.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now a toss play. It's Hines. And they finally get him down at the other 46. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards on the ground. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. He'll find Hines out of the backfield. I call it no gain there on the 1st down play.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a throw here to his running back. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. It's Hill. Complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows to 10-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Switch up.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Keenan Allen, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Jackson. He completes it to Tate. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's Jackson. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. They'll run on first down. Hines. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now a give right side. It's Hines. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Here's Hines. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 5 now. Jackson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Escaping the pressure right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Jackson. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Sean Williams. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. So that changes things, no doubt. We thought we might be on the verge of our initial score of the game, but after that interception.
The long return.
Yeah, then they had that long return, and now it's the other sideline who might be the first to put the points up. After the interception, here's Stafford. To Mixon on the check down. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. 2nd and 11. And that's complete. It's Green here. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. But it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. From the gun to give to Mixon. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. They've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal? Back to throw here. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secure. And a lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Darren Lee, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks. After the sack, they come up on 3rd and goal from the 18. From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Boswell's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw again, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally. And for a 3rd time, and it's a fumble. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now it's Jackson. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now Jackson on 1st down, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Jackson. Going to throw again. He's got it. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Let's get it.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Jackson will throw again. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play you would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. He'll drop to throw. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 4 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd down. Now Joe Mixon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them.
Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 1st touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Andrew Billings, his 2nd sack of the night. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 44-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. 59 mark, 59 mark. 59.
Here's 2nd and 8. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
That's got to be a
from the gun. Here's Stafford. And Allen's got it. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run with Mixon. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll set up to throw. Finding Green complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or lights out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Double right. Check 99. Check 99. Check 4. Check 4.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 23, 30, the 20, 10, 5. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Being chased out left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Let's go, D.
To throw is Jackson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. They frustrated these receivers tonight, really held down the passing game, but there got the penalty.
Fine line between aggressive, good coverage, and interference, and they crossed it on that play.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. From the gun, Jackson. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Auden Tate, his 4th touchdown on the year. Then the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Boswell good with the extra point, and a lead now up to 14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw here is incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. But it'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the Bengals on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Jackson operating from the gun. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Darquez Dennard. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Stafford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. Right back for Allen. This time he finds him complete. 20, 10. Smith. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Keenan Allen with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys are back within a single score. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown. So a 7-point game. They'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie.
Let's go, let's go!
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Here's Hines on a toss play. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Jackson to throw. Flush to his right. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all the way.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Terrence Brooks with a pick. The rookie was trying to push him downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football, and the Bengals have recovered it.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control. And yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So deep trouble here, backed up to their own 1-yard line for 2nd and long. Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL's record. How things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Now Jackson. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Yeah, let's get sandwich. Hey, easy! Hey, 70!
After the interception, here's Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught at the 25. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. Yes, it was a touchdown. And not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Let's go! 15 on it. 15 on it. 54. Line 54. Target.
Now a give, right side. Hines. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Get it, boy.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. So a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores it.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Throwing is Jackson. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say when you throw an interception like that in overtime? You don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. You throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
43 is the mic. Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right.
2nd and 14. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's going to go for it. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Bengals, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the